Alright, you guys, so I kind of want to tell you a story and why it's so important to be aware of your surroundings. At work, where I work at, we are trained. We have to do a video every 2 months on the act and defend for active shooters. Okay, but we also have videos on how to notice the warning signs of child sex trafficking, adult sex trafficking, different things like that. Different threats that may come up in a public retail place that you don't think about. But we have those videos that train us to be aware of it and how to spot those things. So today I actually got to put it into use, and normally it's very rare that we have things like that come up in our store, but you never know when you need to use it. So if you work in these retail places that make you watch these videos, please pay close attention to them, listen to them, and really pay attention to it, and don't just slough it off, because I'm really glad today that I actually paid close attention to those videos, even though I think I'm probably never going to have to use it, right? So I have this lady, and she comes up to me, very pretty lady, seems like very nice, and she asked me, she says, do you have any tube socks? And I said, no, I'm sorry, in ladies department we don't carry tube socks, but we do carry crew socks, and they'll be over here. So I was putting away my freight on the floor, so I went around the corner to ladies with one of the clothes that was in my arm. I was putting them away, and she comes around the corner and she gives me this look, and I noticed that there was a lady that was following her that was maybe not even 2 inches behind her. I mean, that's how close she was, like in her personal space, in her personal bubble. And this lady, wherever she walked, she was following her. She would not leave her alone. And finally, her eyes got as big as quarters, literally as big as quarters. And she mouthed to me, she says, help me. She's following me, and I don't know who she is, and she will not leave me alone. And she mouthed that to me. And then I looked at her, and I smiled real sweet. I said, okay, come on. We do have actually over the calf tube socks over in the men's department, so come with me and I'll show you where they're at. And I kind of turned to her and gave her a smile, and when the lady behind her was looking away, I mouthed to her, I said, I know what's going on, I will not leave you. And I stayed with her, and then we got over to the tube socks and men's, and she says, is there any way that you could check in the back and see if we have an all gray, because I'd rather not have white, I'd rather have all gray socks. So I was like, okay. I said, actually, yes, you know what, let me go check. So that was my cue to walk away for a second. I ran to the fitting room very casually, grabbed the walkie from the fitting room, and I got way out of earshot. And like I was heading to the back to go look for these socks for this young lady. And when I was doing this, I got on the walkie immediately, and I said, I need a member of management or security to the fitting room ASAP. And then I said it one more time. I said, actually, if there is security in the store right now working, I need security or management immediately to the fitting room. And I thought, okay, please somebody hear this, because sometimes when they're on the walkies go dead. You can't tell if management hears you. They don't respond back. Sometimes they don't hear it. It doesn't go over correctly. I was worried, but it wasn't but a few minutes later that one of my coaches came around the corner, and she looked at me and she's like, what's going on? And I told Ashley, I said, stay at the fitting room with this lady. Do not leave her. Do not let her out of your sight. She needs to stay with you, so keep an eye on her. And she didn't know what was going on either. And so, lo and behold, I come back and I tell her, she looks at me, she says, are they coming? Did you call anybody? I said, yes, I did let them know. And I said, they're coming. I'm coming with the socks, and they'll be here in a minute. And she says, okay, thank you. And she's super nervous looking. So the lady starts getting nervous, that's following her around really close. By the way, she's twirling scissors. She has scissors in her hands. She's doing this with the scissors. And imagine your personal bubble, and there's somebody that's a complete stranger walking this close to you, and they're twirling scissors like they want to take the scissors and stab you with them, or they're threatening you with the scissors. This is exactly what this lady was doing, following around the store, twirling these scissors like she's wanting to use them as a weapon on her. She was scared. So finally Mary comes up, which was my coach, And we told her in. The lady sprinted, must have seen her coming. So she sprinted off and started walking that way, and Mary did not see her, but we seen Mary. And then the lady proceeded to tell her what was going on. She says, it was making me so nervous. She said, I was looking for some pens or markers in the pencil aisle, and all of a sudden she approached me with the scissors, twirling them. So finally, every step I took, she was right behind me, and she says I couldn't get away from her. And she finally turned to her and says, do you know me? Do I know you from somewhere? And she says, no. She says, do I look like somebody you know? No. And she just kept tailing her, would not leave her alone. So that's when she found me, and then I stayed with her and helped her. I took the walkie from the fitting room, and I told Mary I'd seen the direction the lady went, so let me go see if I can find her and see if she's still in the store to make sure that this lady was safe. And Mary said, she nodded her head. She says, you can leave. She kind of let me know it's okay. You can leave. I will stay with her. Mary reassured me that she was not going to let this lady leave this lady's side, that she was going to stay with her, because I didn't want to leave her, because I knew she felt her life was in danger, and I was scared to leave her. And so Mary let me know. She nodded at me and reassured me. She said, it's okay. So I said, okay, you're going to stay with her, so then I'll go and see if I can find her. And I couldn't. But Mary says, do you have other shopping to do? Was there some shopping you came in for? And she says, yes. She says, Mary said, okay, come on. I'll stay with you. I'll help you pick out your items and help you pay for it. And Mary stayed with her the whole entire time. She picked out all her items. She walked to the self-checkout with a customer. The customer finished checking out, and Mary actually physically walked her to her car and made sure she got in her car, locked the doors, and started her car before she walked away from her to make sure that this customer was safe. So, moral to the story. If you ever see anything that looks odd, or if you see someone ask you weird questions, but you can tell they're asking you about something, but that's really not what they're shopping for, or they ask you like about pepperoni pizza, or I don't know, anything that might be a little bit off, and you can tell by their demeanor, and they're trying to mouth something to you. Maybe you're not good at reading lips, but they're mouthing something to you. I'm not always the best at reading lips, but I usually am pretty darn good at reading lips. And I can usually figure out what you're saying when you're mouthing something to me silently. I gotten to where sometimes with working with deaf customers, I've gotten used to doing that. So anyway, and when the customer starts mouthing something to you and they look nervous and their eyes are as wide as quarters, it's obvious that something is wrong and that they are scared. So make sure you stop whatever you're doing and help them. I don't care if you're a customer or if you're or an associate in a store, restaurant, wherever it may be. If you're out shopping and a lady customer or a guy customer approaches you and they look scared, don't leave them. I don't care if you're a customer shopping and you got your cart full of frozen goods. Don't leave them. Stay with them. Mouth back to them. Let them know, I understand that you're in danger. I'm going to stay with you. Stay with them until you find an associate that works in that store, or an associate that works in that restaurant, or wherever it may be at, or the amusement park, whatever it is, that can take over from there and take care of that customer until they are safe. So always be aware of your surroundings. Always pay close attention to people, because you never know. You may be that one person that saves that person's life or helps them if they're being stalked by somebody, which obviously this lady was being stalked by a lady that was in her 50s or 60s. We're pretty sure she was stoked out on drugs, and she was a druggie and just wanted to mess with her for some stupid reason. She picked her for some reason. So it doesn't matter, a guy or a girl could be a dangerous stalker. So make sure you pay close attention.